They must not know who we are. So.
Word.
Y'all know who we are?
That's Run, and I'm DMC. And he's Jam Master Jay. That's just the name of the group.
Rockbox was the first rock rap record.
Arguably one of the biggest songs in America.
It's better than this disco shit, and it's harder.
Somebody say yeah!
So MTV gets rolling for real in about 1981. And it was nothing but white artists.
And they were like, Middle America doesn't want to see hip-hop.
It was a fight.
I never focused on trying to get a white crowd.
It was always me and Run fighting for the B-boy tape shit. We knew that Rockbox was huge when Rockbox got us on MTV.
So it's that big rock guitar rap combination that propelled Run DMC and hip-hop into the mainstream.
That's what it took to break the color line.
It brought white people and black people together.
2 turntables and a microphone. That's all it took to change the world.
Music in 1984, the weapon of choice was the distorted guitar. Artists like Def Leppard, Prince, Quiet Riot, AC/DC, Van Halen's Jump, U2's Pride in the Name of Love. You had like all these rockin'
Springsteen.
Yeah, Springsteen's Born in the USA. And then here comes hip hop. There was LL Cool J's I Need a Beat, Fat Boys, Jailhouse Rap, Friends by Houdini, but the Godzilla in that world was no doubt Run DMC and Rockbox.
It broke ground for a lot of reasons, and obviously the rock was a big part of it.
It just sounded like something we had never heard before.
Of course, the history books will always have Walk This Way as the crowning achievement. But you gotta understand that if it weren't for Rockbox, there would be no Walk This Way.
Rockbox got us in the room. It brought the metal, the punk, it brought white people and black people together.
Rockbox is Picasso. Still my favorite record to this day.
Prior to Rockbox dropping, the music was metal's over here, and only metal people can do metal. Hip-hop's over here, only hip-hop people can do the hip-hop. The rock and the punks, everything was separate. But prior to recorded hip-hop, we used to rap over rock beats in the park. In a typical DJ's crate. It was disco records, it was funk records, it was R&B records, jazz records. And then there was this song called Big Beat that all the DJs played. I just knew Big Beat was dope. So prior to us making Rockbox, we wanted to make Big Beat. And it wasn't until I got in the business that I found out that it was Billy Squier and was the name of the white rock guy that made the Big Beat record. The thing that attracted me to Billy Squier's Big Beat was a cassette tape of a live Treacherous Street show was playing. Boom, 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 bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam. And Mo D came on and said, "Can you find an MC better than me, Mo D? Can you find an MC better than me?" And it's playing, boosh, but it's the roughest, hardest thing that I ever heard. And just that attitude over this boosh, kabash,
You can't think of a harder thought than Daryl in your face, pissy drunk off of Old English going, boom, bam. We gotta make that, Joe.
H is for Hollis as in Hollis Town. O's for only homeboys are down. L is for ladies who are looking so fine. And other L's for laughter when you're sipping good wine. I is for N, don't you never leave out. S is for the crowd that likes to shout. Even before Run DMC made records, Hollis had a reputation.
I wasn't allowed to go to Hollis Avenue because there's gonna be some dope fiends. And that's me at 9, 10 years old. You're not going to get any candy.
When crack came to Hollis,
For the first 6 months, it was like paradise. And what I mean by that, everybody had money, nobody was fighting, everybody was fly. But in that 7th month, it looked like a nuclear bomb hit here. Everything good was totally destroyed in Hollis, Queens when crack got here, which was no different from any other neighborhood. But even in a dirt poor ghetto, where all of these things exist, is some goodness. Unemployment at a record high, there's wars going on. But also, you can be cool if you go to school.
Me and Run went to the same school, but we was never in the same class. It was the only Catholic school in the middle of Hollis, and that wasn't good. We got our uniforms on, white shirts, blue tie, blue pants. And you got a big book bag that says St. Pascal Baylon Elementary on it. So you was a mark. You was lunch and dinner for all the public school kids. We had one basketball court that was in the schoolyard at St. Pascal Baylon, and it was safe for us. But in the 7th grade, the rim breaks, and now the kids at St. Pascal's have nowhere to go play basketball. So now we don't gotta go to the park, you go to Darryl McDaniel's house to play basketball in my backyard. One particular day, Joseph Simmons came over alone. We played basketball. After we played basketball, I went inside.
DMC had turntables in his basement. Nobody else had turntables, nobody else could afford them. But D had dope turntables and a lot of records.
So immediately he's like, yo, my brother's Russell Simmons, man, and he manages Curtis Blow and Houdini. So he starts telling me, in the summertime, Curtis Blow brings me on the road with him, and I come out and I DJ and I rhyme with Curtis Blow.
So I must have been in 9th grade, DJing for Curtis Blow on the weekends. It was a big deal. I mean, I was blessed. I was really fast on the turntables, and I was really good on the mic. I was young and fly and ready to rock.
9th grade, I went to school in Harlem. I was a straight A student, A+++. I'm getting this overwhelming education of what hip hop is really about.
Grandmaster Flash made the message. It was all about the struggle, the struggle, the struggle.
But then I started hearing the funky 4+1. Then they have the echo chamber, yes, yes, y'all. But to the beat, y'all. I got my Porterfield on and my Adidas. And I was like, oh, you could write rhymes like that. We would get out of school 2:10 and then go in my basement and DJ. I'll never forget the day. We was eating potato chips and peanut butter and jelly. So it was my turn to DJ, and Running sitting there and waiting for his turn, and he just starts picking up my school books. I was Easy D, because it was easy for me to write rhymes, and my name is Darryl, it begins with a D. So I had all of these Easy D rhymes in my book, and Run finds my book, and he picks it up.
And I'm like, oh, snap, D got dope rhymes, too.
And it was like a movie. He goes, when Russell lets me make a record, I'm gonna put you in my group. And it echoed. And I remember looking at him, but it went in one end out the other. In my mind, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I graduate from Rice High School. I get accepted to St. John's University. Huge in my family. I run home, the first thing I do is sit down and write a rhyme about it. I'm DMC, and the place to be, I'm going to St. John's University. And since kindergarten, I acquired the knowledge. After 12th grade, I'm going straight to college. I'm light-skinned from Hollis, Queens, and I love eating chicken and collard greens. So I wrote that whole rhyme. Right after I wrote that rhyme, the phone rings. It's Joe. Yo, D, what's up? Remember 4 years ago when I said if I make a record? Oh, yeah? Well, Russell's let me make a record. Grab your English book. We're going to the studio.
I told Russell Simmons, who's my brother, I got a partner that I want to make a record with. Me and D kicked the rhyme for him and his man Spuddy. D kicked his rhyme, I kicked my rhyme, and from there, they was like, this is a group.
We gonna start doing shows, you'll need a DJ. Run was like, oh shoot, I didn't think about that. So our original DJ choice was actually Darnell Smith. But then a day later, he calls back and says, yo, I can't be your DJ. And Ron was like, yo, what's up? Smith was like this, yo, I got a job at the post office. We needed a DJ. Run's next choice was Jay.
I used to go up to Jay, yo, man, I'm gonna put this group together, you're gonna be my DJ, because he was a DJ out there too, he'd bring stuff. He's like, all right, Joe. Yeah, right, you know, nobody knew if I was gonna really get a record deal. And when I got the group together, I went back and got Jason Mizell.
If Jay was up here in Hollis and one of the bullies was messing with a normal kid, Jay would stop it. So Jay was kind of like the mayor of Hollis Avenue because, look, he did it all. He played ball, he DJ'd, he ran with the hustlers.
Jam Master Jay was a very cool dude. Him and his crew at that age, they was running things in their age bracket.
And then Russell goes, yo, we're gonna do an album. And just remember, it was a period where everything was just singles.
We put out Sucker MCs with B-side of It's Like That.
We thought it was gonna end there, but it kept going.
When we did our interviews, people would say, well, you guys are young and you just got out of high school and it's your first year in college and you took a leave of absence. What do you really think you're gonna be doing in 5 years? You should consider staying in school.
Suck MCs exploded immediately. It's Like That was a nationwide record. Suck MCs smashed New York.
The first album sold 900,000.
We put out Jam Master Jay with B-side Hard Times.
And we were like, yeah, we consider it. We'll just go back to school. You know what I'm saying?
The second one sold a little over 900,000.
So once we did that, we thought it was gonna end there.
And then we made an album in '84.
Self-titled Run DMC. And then we did this album. Okay, I'm saying, okay, it's definitely gonna end here.
And then came Rockbox.
Russell had Profile release Rockbox as the crew's third single in March of 1984.
And that whole thing changed the whole game.
This new one has sold over two and a quarter million.
We literally opened the doors for this thing here. Right now, we live it.
Yo, we gonna do this album. So going from Queens to the city was like a big adventure for me. When we was in the studio, Larry Smith, hip-hop's greatest producer ever that nobody knows about, said, yo, D, come here.
Larry was Timberland before Timberland. He was Dre before Dre. Because he was doing everything from a rock box to a Freaks Come Out at Night.
Larry was the head producer, and Larry was the bass player for the Orange Crush band. Instead of just sampling the record, they would hire a band to play Good Times over. Hire a band to play James Brown's music over. When we did Rockbox, we was trying to make Billy Squire's Big Beat.
D would always say, today we're gonna make boom, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom.
Where hip hop is in the early 80s, they were finding themselves. Drum machine culture started. The DMX machine. A lot of drum machine sounds had low snare noises. The sound of James Brown that hip hop would eat up in all the 80s and the 90s was anti-rock. Yeah, your drum tone was a tighter sound than rock records. Like Funky Drummer. But in the early 80s, your approach and your engineering had to be big 80s reverb sounding rock. You were trying to compete with AC/DC and Def Leppard and all those rock bands. Prince also kind of went the anti-James Brown theory by programming and playing his stuff at low tones. It's a bigger sound. That's the sound of Run DMC.
Larry said, I'm gonna let you do the beat. You can finally make your big beat records. So he cues up the DMX drum machine. This is the kick, boom, 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 boom. And this is the that. When I count you in, you start doing the beat. So I'm like, okay, cool. Tit, tit, tit. So he says, do it. So I go, boom, bend, boom, boom, bend, boom, boom. He says, stop.
Like, that is the dopest beat I ever heard in my life. Larry says, what about this? He's a musician.
And then he picks up his bass.
I'm pissed. It's too soft. And said, you want it hard? And turns the knob. And it goes, is it soft now? So now it's like a guitar type of thing. It's hard now, ain't it? I still wish it was just the beat.
Me and Ron, we ready to do the vocals. He's like, no, hold on, I ain't finished yet. He goes over to the keyboard and he starts going through the sounds, and then he comes with the bell sound. Jing, jing, ching-a-ling, jing, jing, ching-a-ling, jing. So me and Ron, we over there like, what the hell is Scott doing?
They take it further. We come back that same night. There's this crazy looking guy with a guitar.
I remember Larry calls me up. He says, hey, man, I want you to put some of your rock shit on this track. I'm Puerto Rican, raised in the South Bronx, so I mean, there's a lot of Latino music in the house. So Eddie Palmieri's pumping and Tito Puente's pumping. But the rock thing kind of captured me, listening to Lennon and McCartney, Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck and Jimi Hendrix. The beautiful thing about Larry was that he was a musician. So the bass line is really what you hear the guitars building on. Boom, boom, da, boom, down, boom, down. So you have that nucleus, and then my job is to kind of build on that. And I'm just like playing my interpretation of the blues. Larry definitely had a vision. Big, big guitar sounds for this experiment. Those harmony guitars are really kind of like, almost like an orchestra. You know, kind of like what Brian May from Queen would create in terms of his layering of guitars. It was screaming.
Eddie Martinez does all his guitar work. You know, it took him like 8 hours or whatever. So now me and Run say, okay, yo, could we drop out damn lyrics because we want to go home?
And they're like, no, you can make it what you want, Joe and D. Go give it that echo chamber, 81, 80, 79, Shah Rock type of echo. So we just like, live, for you, fresh, like this, y'all. We just all over the track painting psychedelic echo chamber crap. Now we go kick our rhyme. And I'm like, fool, you sucker, I'm perpetrating the fraud. You rhyme the cold whack, keep the crowd cold bored. You're the kind of guy that girl ignored. I'm driving caddy, you fixing the Ford. Thank God my voice is still like I'm 18. Kick that rhyme. D had a bag of rhymes. I couldn't wait to demonstrate
all super deaf rhymes that I create. I'm a wizard of the word.
That's what you heard. Anything else is quite absurd. I'm the master of
And from that earlier session that day, they took the run, D. That does sound just like it too. It's not bad.
Cool, our job is done. They know how it's supposed to go. Guitars are supposed to go in and out every 8 bars or whatever like that. So me and Run leave. Next day, we get a call earlier. Yo, y'all gotta come to the studio, gotta hear this, the record is sick. So we come back to the studio, and Russell and Larry and everybody's in there. So we sit down on the couch in the big control room, and they push play on the tape machine, and the thing comes on, you know, run, DMC, la, and it drops.
For you, fresh.
And then the guitars come in.
What is going on?
And the guitar stayed in.
This guitar player went crazy on that track.
The guitars is all through the record. So Run, he got this look on his face. He said, what the fuck is going on, man? Why that guitar is going through all the fucking record? Like, it's dope. For a minute, it was a fight.
I'm pissed. They have now changed our incredible beat, ruining it with some musician crap.
I just wanted the beat. Rock is for white people.
They're out of bounds.
Hip hop is for black people. It was an argument. Me and Run fighting for the B-boy tape shit.
I'm high, I'm sitting here, I'm young, I'm probably 19. I'm following instructions, I'm listening. I don't know what is going on.
Jay, he's always on the other dude's side. Jay said, nah, man, I'm telling you that's dope.
Russell would sell it to me, and I had to sell it to the group.
D made the beat, couldn't hear D rapping, all the guitars were so loud.
And we looking at Jay like, you know, remember Arnold, what you talking about, Willis? We like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jay?
Jay loved everything. Jay was the greatest. Jay was full of eyes wide open, this is dope. Jay was less worried about things than me and Daryl. He was the musician. We were the rappers. He knew more than we. Russell's there, Larry's there, and they're going crazy in this studio.
Russell was a businessman even back then. He definitely had a vision. Russell, to his credit, and to Larry's credit, they were adamant about this is the path.
We ain't had no power, we thought we did.
We're defeated.
The resolution came to this. We'll have this version, and then we'll have a version without the guitars. So when we dropped the single, the A-side was the version that y'all heard that became legendary, but the B-side was the version without the guitars. Which me and Run thought everybody gonna play more, cause it's B-boy. It bugged me and Run out. All of the DJs at the time played the version with the guitars all the way through the record.
When I first heard Rockbox, I thought it was unbelievable, man. Even the intro, run, 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 the way it was like reverse, run, run, DMC, see, bye, for you, fresh shit. And it played on the radio because even back then, people didn't even know that they was cursing, like, you know, fresh.
Fresh shit.
Yeah, this ain't fresh shit. I totally said fresh shit. I hope this interview doesn't stop radio from playing it and start bleeping it because they haven't bleeped it yet. So don't ruin nothing here on your documentary.
That's me. That's Rick Rubin. That's Russell Simmons. Here's Run DMC. I was the director of publicity for Rush Artist Management, which means, among other things, that I worked with Run DMC. The rock critics loved Rockbox from the start. Nothing less than a staged confrontation between hip-hop and heavy metal. A searing rap rocker with a rumbling metallic guitar solo from Eddie Martinez that does for hip-hop what Eddie Van Halen's Run did for Michael Jackson, bringing it to a whole new audience. Melting rap into rock like it's never been done before.
It was a smash.
Yeah, party people. I say, yeah, party people.
So MTV gets rolling for real in about 1981.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
They were an FM rock radio station with pictures. The formatting was all so-called rock, and it was nothing but white artists.
MTV was set up with guys that grew up on rock and roll music. That's all they knew. So in 1983, you know, I had this idea to do this TV show called Video Music Box. And it became like a kind of go-to place for a lot of these hip-hop artists that couldn't get airplay anywhere else.
Yo, this is LL Cool J, and if you need a beat in New York, tune into the #1 rap show, Video Music Box. Is it funky? Stuff. You know what it is?
I took Video Music Box to, MTV, and they were like, Ralph, you don't understand. Middle America doesn't want to see hip-hop.
They weren't too receptive to black artists, and it took Michael Jackson's label, Epic, to threaten MTV to say that we will take all of our videos off your channel if you do not play us.
At that time, there wasn't a huge flood of music videos being made. So that was a real threat. And so MTV caved and they played Beat It. That's what it took to break the color line there.
Suddenly their ratings grew. MTV was wide open. Oh, what other cool black people can we support? So here comes Prince, Lionel Richie, the Pointer Sisters. Here comes Kool and the Gang. And probably the coolest of them all is Run DMC.
Rockbox was the first rap video to ever play on MTV.
Nothing to do with music. What is a unit of measure used to determine the necessary current?
It had a number of elements in it that would kind of ease the way. Run DMC's label figure out, well, look, we're gonna put Professor Irwin Corey in it. He's certifiably white. And we're gonna have a young white kid in it to reassure everybody, not only can you be white and like Run DMC, but you can be young and white and not be afraid of these grown-up black men. Boom! All of that reassured the people at MTV, and they gave it a shot, and it blew up.
Not only Russell and the label and everybody in our clique was going crazy, like, this is huge, y'all guys got on MTV, this is great for hip hop and all this stuff. It bugged us out because we was looking at them like this, because we didn't have MTV in Queens yet. So when we got on MTV, that was like, we're being accepted now. We're playing right after Michael Jackson, Madonna.
From that point on, things wouldn't be the same.
Your pen. Now, what is rap music? Well, In a sense, we cannot use that particular item.
This is
because-
Professor Erwin Corey. He was an actor and comedian. Opens up Run DMC's Rockbox video, so you can't get any more gangster than that. That's the big long caddy. We probably did 1 million miles in that car from 83 to 86.
I didn't get any direction. I got a call. I don't know whether it was from Russell or Larry. Come down to Danceteria, man. We're gonna be shooting a video. Bring your guitar. Wear something you like. I don't know how the idea of me getting on the car, but I'm thinking that I don't want to fall off this car.
When I watched it, I thought I was cool as hell, the way I threw my hands up and walked through that crowd. And my black leather suit on, and the way my hands moved was ridiculously fly. I was cool because God made me cool. That's the bottom line.
You look at the video, it's not the park, it's not the block party. It's a downtown Manhattan club. It's punk rock in the video, it's metal in the video, but the black hip hop dudes were the stars.
I couldn't wait to demonstrate all the super death sounds that I create. I'm a wizard of a word, that's what you heard. If anything else is quite absurd.
It was our first video ever, and it was an experience to really realize that this shit don't happen in a day. Matter of fact, we was mad. We was like, this shit's taking too long. We wanna go, man. Just shoot me and D doing our rhymes, and no, we need you for every scene. Your head's gonna leave your body, and your head's gonna leave your body, right? And you and D gonna switch heads. Now I'm looking at it, and you goddamn right you gotta put this on MTV. The video was actually the live manifestation of what this record Rockbox was about to do. Cross us the fuck over.
I never focused on trying to get a white crowd. All my job was to go to the shows and bust them out and be cool.
Just shake, wiggle, jump up and down. Move your body to the funky sound.
We are definitely back here with the Beastie Boys, Run DMC.
Beastie Boys, Run DMC, a black group and a white group, and we're going out, and if we can get along, anybody can. And it's white kids and black kids who, you know, otherwise maybe were scared to get together, their parents didn't want to get together every night and have a good time.
It said that was the amazing thing in the audience.
Every night there's 50% black and 50% white. There's a white guy standing next to a black guy. Everybody's a completely mixed audience, and no fights, and everybody goes crazy, and we just do music.
Snap your fingers and clap your hands. Our DJ's better than all these bands.
That's an important statement. Our DJ's better than all these bands. The power of the disc jockey is just as influential and just as powerful as any music. It's a legitimate art form.
We would show up at the shows to the backstage area for sound checks, and we would knock on the door, boom, 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 boom. Yo, we're running, boof. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, if y'all motherfuckers knock on this fucking door one more time, we're going, yo, man, we're Run DMC, we're here for sound check. First thing he said, if y'all motherfucking Run DMC, we're the band. Because he thought that we had a band. And me and Joe, we'd be funny. We go, yo, the band's right here, right there. And JB standing there with the turntables and the record bag. And the promoter would say this.
I ain't paying no time now for no.
These boys $1,000 and they ain't gonna have no band.
I ain't believe that.
Oh man.
We would do all that to everybody.
You know, Jay would never use another machine. He used his hands. We gotta have wax. We gotta use the records, because that's the art form. That's what made it so exciting for people that never seen it before.
Somebody say yeah! Say hell yeah!
Jay was the flavor and the essence of Run DMC.
What's my name? What's my name?
We love to go on stage in a club and grab a mic, and I get on the turntables, and we just have fun with the people.
Jam Master Jay is using turntables, no DAT machine, no playback, no, he was using vinyl. If the electricity goes off, show's over. Jay proved to the world that we don't need a band on stage.
Jay made playing Madison Square Garden several nights in a row feel like you had a band with you. You came to see Jay throw down.
At the time, I feel like it was hard to distinguish oneself in a unique way as a DJ. He cut in a way that only Jam Master Jay cut.
There was times where we would be doing shows, I'll never forget, Funkmaster Flex was up front telling me, Run, get out the way, I want to see Jay. Jay is the embodiment of how hip-hop DJs became rock stars.
One of the biggest things that we did with Video Music Box is we taped this thing called the Fresh Fest.
Hello, Video Music Box. This is the Fresh Festival Part 2.
On the bill was Houdini, Grandmaster Fast Furious 5, Fat Boys. Run DMC looked like they came literally off the block in their car and got on stage.
It was all about being B-boy.
It was all about being
Basically.
B-boy. We didn't invent it, but we wasn't gonna come and change to conform and just be fake.
People don't realize, man, that 1980s fashion, the Adidas suits and the Pumas, the velours, the leather blazers. Jam Master Jay was going to 9th grade like that. Before any of this.
Me and Run, we didn't have wardrobe. We was all over the place. When we first started, I was wearing Pumas. Me and Run, we ain't had no hats, we had no gold chains or nothing like that. Russell was always saying, yo, y'all need wardrobes. We was like, yeah, we know. The first rappers had no rappers to look up to, so their idols was Rolling Stones, Rick James, and Confunction and all the funk bands. So our thing was, yo, we love Mel and them, but we ain't wearing the stuff that they wear. Me and Runner had no idea what to do. The second show that we did, because Jay missed the first show because he went shopping. The second show, we pull up in front of Jay's house, the door opens. Jay walks out on his stoop. He got the big 4-speaker Sanyo box. He got on the Godfather hat, the black 3-stripe Adidas jacket, the black leaves on, and then he got on some fresh white with the black striped Superstar Adidas. The tongues were sticking up like tombstones in front of him, but it was like he hit a pose, bam! And Russell goes, that is your wardrobe.
Now it's about that time for us to say that we are Run DMC and Jam Master Jay.
I just remember Run DMC's look. Maybe I started wearing glasses when I was like 7 or 8 years old. The fact that DMC was still street, he was still respected lyricist, made it cool to be Four-Eyed.
We owe a lot of our success to the way that we dress.
The hip-hop culture is music, fashion, and art and design. Rap is the music of hip-hop. Graffiti is the art, and the way we dress is the fashion.
Word up, and we always rock our Adidas on our feet with no shoestrings in them. I did not win them. I bought them off the Ave with the Levi denim.
Black and white with black stripe. The ones I like to wear when I rock the mic.
And for the first time in history, cats that look like your next door neighbor are now rocking on the microphone. Run DMC's sort of style was like, I have Adidas. And then you're like, hey, I can have Adidas too. They made you feel inclusive. They look like you and it made you want to be them. Their style and that big rock guitar rap combination propelled Run DMC and hip hop into the mainstream. And that became Run DMC's blueprint. From that point on, they had a hard rock rap song on every album. And they did this all over. They did it for Rockbox. They did it for Can You Rock It Like This? It's Tricky, King of Rock. And of course, the most famous rock rap collaboration was Walk This Way.
I like Walk This Way a lot. I love King of Rock, and every rap rock record that made it to the top 10 were all good. The foundation, the root, is Rockbox.
By mixing rock and rap, Rockbox redefined both genres. Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, Linkin Park, Rage Against the Machine, and Blink-182. None of them would be the same without this one song, and hip hop and rock might still be segregated art forms. That's its impact.
Run DMC. For you.
I'll never forget, I was home, 10 o'clock news.
The beat behind Run DMC was murdered.
Jam Master Jay shot and killed in the studio. Yeah, right. It didn't affect me because in 1986 on the Raising Hell tour, There was a big rumor Jam Master Jay got shot and killed. So I thought it was another one of those.
Police are looking for a motive tonight in the shooting death of hip-hop pioneer Jam Master Jay.
11 o'clock news.
Police say he was shot once in the head at a recording studio and died at the scene.
I go to Channel 7.
Mizell was shot once in the head inside his
I see shot of Chuck D. Shoot, that's Ed Lover there. So we pull up to the studio, I'll never forget. When I get out the car and I see there's Chuck D. I say, I'm gonna cry right now. See Chuck D crying, and that's when I knew it was serious.
Jam Master Jay's death, it represented yet another loss of life that was far too soon. Another unsolved murder of a young black man. I feel like Jam Master Jay was just beginning to hit his prime. He was starting to produce and put out more artists.
Music is always in everyone's life. We do it from the heart.
You see this belt buckle? I wear it every day, so every time that you see me, I am chilling with Jay. What better way to immortalize Jam Master Jay than by giving him an excellent work of art mural that will be here on Hollis for as long as Hollis is in existence.
My name is TJ Mizell, and I am one of the sons of Jam Master Jay. I was 11 when he passed. This picture right here is when I was born. It's crazy. This man's style is out of this world. That shirt is bananas, got the crazy classic Dookie rope chain. This picture is probably one of my favorite pictures ever because I remember this day. Must be maybe 3 years old. Now I'm a producer, I DJ, and I make a lot of electronic music. Listening to my dad's music and all of Run DMC's music, it just influenced me to be a very drum-heavy producer. That's what I took from my dad's vision of music. For me, like being a part of like the newer generation, I see what the impact that it's had. Hip-hop music now is what evolved from Rockbox. Run DMC started that.
I think the impact was visceral, more so than cerebral. It's not a matter of a technical brilliance. It's a matter, I want to hit this guitar chord and I just want to have people be pinned to their seats. And that's the power of rock and roll.
Rockbox is worth everything for music. Guitars, and it was, how does anyone make that? We haven't made it since.
You can't deny great art. That's what great artists do. They pave the way.
Fifth Street now has become Run DMC and JMJ Way.
The legendary hip-hop trio is the first rap group to have a city street renamed in their honor.
To have a street in the neighborhood that we grew up in named after us is still inconceivable to me.
Here to induct Run DMC into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Eminem.
This was a big deal to have Eminem come and honor us at that level.
2 turntables and a microphone. That's all it took to change the world. 3 kings from Queens made rap music in the b-boy stands a global phenomenon. They were the first rap group played on MTV. They were the first rap group with their own sneaker and the first to sell out arenas worldwide. They were the first rock stars of rap. They made me realize that you could write your own rules, which is something that still inspires me, as well as every other rap artist constantly. None of us would be here without them. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Run DMC into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And that's the beauty of hip-hop. We needed a doorway, we needed a pathway, we needed an opportunity to do our presentation so we can change the world.
The best thing y'all can do is give love to a kid, because that kid may grow up and be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day.
They won't talk about this forever, baby. This is what an MVP does. Let's go! This is our moment. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
The Super Bowl, live from Florida. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Kansas City Chiefs. Sunday at 11:30 on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.
I had to convey what's going on. This is serious. This is what violence looks like.
There was a desire to deny it so as not to face the reality.
Anarchy, poverty. What had happened to all of Libya's money?
These people were scared. They wanted to tell their stories.
People think it's just about competing, but it's not, you know? We're also humans, and we need that support, we need that love.
The world's best documentaries. Storyville, Whirlybird, Monday 15th of February on BBC4 and iPlayer.
Banning songs brings easy chart success. Britain's most dangerous songs. Listen to The Band at 11:25. First on BBC4, revolutionising music, celebrating differences on a mainstream platform for the first time, with very strong language and discriminatory language which some may find offensive. Hip hop, the songs that shook America.